Hi guys, and welcome to Nicha's Goodreads Choice Awards. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this video or not because, to be honest, I didn't read as many books as I thought I was going to this year. And like compared to last year, I had a much worse reading year this year. I was like in and out of book slumps, and also like my end of the year schedule was so busy. I did not reach my reading goal, and I probably will not. Like as I'm filming this video, it is still very early December, and I mean I could, you know, but I just don't think I will. After every single book that I've read this year, I've chosen 4 books that I would absolutely recommend. I wanted it to be 5, but once again, I didn't have the best reading luck this year, so 4 it is. I wish I did this video last year because I had the best reading year last year. I wasn't really making book videos and I wasn't really documenting what I was reading, but I was reading for fun and I was reading a lot. I felt like I had way more fun with the books I read last year than I did this year, but once again, it's just kind of like luck of whatever book I pick up, right? Anyways, let's get into the video. This first book, I really have my friend to thank for this recommendation because without her, I probably wouldn't have picked this book up. This is definitely outside of my comfort zone and I didn't think that I would enjoy it that much, but it is probably one of the best books I've ever read in my life and I will not shut up about it. Very obviously, it is The Secret History. This book is the favorite book of the year. I feel like months after I finished this book, I was still in it. Like my brain was still in these pages. I even made like a playlist to listen to while I was reading it, and I really felt like I was going through it with these characters. This is a dark academia novel. We follow our main character Richard, who is attending this college. At this college, there is an in-group of students who are studying ancient Greek. They dress differently, they talk differently, they act differently, and Richard is just fascinated by this small group of students, and he will do anything in his power to get into this class. Eventually he does, and that leads to the murder of one of the friends in this group. Because of the prologue, we already know that he is going to die, and we know that Richard is partially responsible for his death. That is the premise of the whole book. If that doesn't make you want to read it, I don't know what else will. I honestly cannot recommend this book enough. This is one of my favorite reads ever, and it just like holds such a special place in my heart. If you were a quote girly, there are so many amazing quotes in this book, and you've probably seen it on Pinterest like 1,000 times. And I'm not a classics person. I don't really read a lot of classics. My main genre is literally romance and fantasy, so trust me when I say this book is good, and you don't need to be a classics enjoyer to like it. By the way, this is an order of like my most favorite to least favorite. I should have done the other way around. Yeah. Okay, unfortunately, I'm already too deep down this road, so we're gonna keep going. The second book that I have is Giovanni's Room. I also cannot shut up about this, but surprisingly, I haven't talked about it that much on YouTube. I filmed a reading vlog while I read this book, but I never actually finished that reading vlog. So that is like stashed somewhere away in my drafts and will never see the light of day because genuinely, that video was a disaster and I did not want to finish it anymore, so I trashed it. But I read this book while filming that, and it was like such an amazing experience. Once again, not a classics person, but this book was really fucking good. Not just me, but I've seen other people say similar things where like they are not usually a person who likes to read classics, but this book is really different. Like the writing style is really good and so easy to get through. This book follows our main character David, who is living in Paris. He is married, he has a fiance, but he finds himself entangled in an affair with this bartender named Giovanni. This book basically follows their tragic affair. This book deals with him coming to terms with his sexuality and identity. I love this book and I love the writing style in this book. Once again, the quotes in this book are unmatched, and I kind of wish that when I did read it, I annotated it. So if you guys are reading this for the first time, you should definitely annotate this book. I think that this book was actually easier to read than The Secret History, which is kind of crazy because that's a modern classic. I hope this convinces you because this book truly lives rent-free in my mind. Third on the list, we are off to some fun shenanigans. Obviously, this book in my list follows those 2 books, but it is a completely different genre. And in its own genre, this book was amazing for me. So please welcome the Book of Azrael. This is so underhyped. I haven't seen anyone talk about this. This book follows a morally gray FMC, which you don't see that often. I loved her so much. Like she is one of my favorite female leads ever. This is a high fantasy dark romance. It is adult. I'll put up the spice rating here. Our female main character, Diana, is basically working for this super evil guy named Caden. She works for him because he saved her sister, so she's basically indebted to him. She basically does his evil bidding for him, like whatever he wants, she will do. So she's a very morally gray main character. Our main guy character, Sam Keel, is this god, and he's very much a good person. Like he wants to save the world. They're all fighting for this one book, which is the Book of Azrael. I won't reveal too much because I truly did just go into this blind. This world is so complex that I feel like I haven't understood the whole world, but I mean, I'm there for the vibes and the characters. I absolutely loved the relationships in this this book, not just the main character but also the side characters. And the series is 7 books long. It is unfinished, but think about how many books you'll have to read if you like the first one. If this is on your TBR, push it up because it's really good. Last book in my recommendations is One for My Enemy. Olivie Blake's writing style is very unique, but I love it. This book in summary is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but make it witchy. Personally, my favorite thing about this book was the prose. There are some quotes in here that will truly live rent-free in my mind. I love the characters so much. I love their arcs. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, so they are 2 rival families and they cannot be together. It's basically drama between the 2 witch families. One thing is that there are so many perspectives in this book, but I think Olivie Blake does that so well. Even if I was like a little bit reluctant, I was like, I don't really want to read in their perspective, but once I got into it, I felt like so connected to every single character. Even the ones I thought I wasn't gonna like, I still felt connected to them. Being in their perspective just really gives you a deeper understanding of them as a character. Okay guys, I am out of breath and I think I have talked your ears off enough. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this gave you some good book recommendations that you can add to your shelf or to your TBR. 2025 is gonna be so good. There's so many books that are upcoming that I'm so excited for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe down below for weekly videos. Hopefully I'm on schedule, honestly. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!